Brooklyn Museum, not too far from our setting today here at the Barclays Center. And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. With Greg Anthony and Hall of Famer Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. And joining us on the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge down on the sideline. David, really making the most of not having much to work with. Thank you, DA. Here's what the Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Friday, they're off to Charlotte to face off with the Hornets. Then on Sunday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat.
And Kevin, I think you have to look at this as an opportunity to take a step forward. Sometimes tough road trips can bring the best out of a team and bring you closer together.
And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. They've got Beasley. He's out there with Russell. And it's Towns in at the 5 spot. And looking at the Nets, LeVert and Durant out on the perimeter. Jarrett Allen is out there with Jordan. And it's Irving in at the 1.
You have to remember, the Nets surrendered their draft pick every year for 5 straight years, between the years 2014 to 2018. How they turned that into a playoff run last year, one of the great stories in the league.
Now here's Allen. Durant kicks to LeVert. 5 on the clock. Here's Irving. Jordan trying to free himself up, and Irving gets it to go on the assist by Allen. And Doris, you're right, those picks you're referring to, surrendered by the Nets in their 2013 trade with the Celtics.
And think about it, Kev, that transaction was one in a string of trades by the Nets, trading their picks for veterans. This 2019 draft, only the second time the Nets controlled their pick in the last 9 years. What they have achieved in the face of that is nothing short of remarkable.
Here's a Kogi. Jarrett Allen making his last shot. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Now Kevin Durant.
I got your help.
Allen with it. Here's LeVert and the rejection by Towns. And he's able to get it back. Russell passes to Beasley. And it's blocked by Jordan.
Well, DJ, twice on the pipes. No, sir. Get it out of here.
Passes to Durant. The 3. Rebound, Minnesota. This, of course, their first look at the Nets.
And this game will be half of the contest they'll play against each other this year.
It's an interesting matchup. Two teams that don't know each other all that well, separate conferences. We'll see which one can dictate the pace early.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Here's a Kogi.
Yeah, trying to get going here, but that's an offer for the first 5 here to start the game.
Lobs it up for Jordan. Well-placed alley-oop pass into the layup.
Okay, Kevin Durant scanning the floor, looking for opportunities. Make your teammates feel good. Nice.
Timeout called, first of the game for Minnesota. Well, Doris, you knew that his free agency would be one of the biggest stories of the summer. Everyone tried their best to land Kevin Durant.
And even considering the injury, anyone would be willing and able to take Kevin Durant on their roster. Why? Because when he's healthy, you become an immediate contender.
And here's a look at the stats for Irving. Great showing for him last season. Last year, averaging 24 points per, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds. And when he takes over at the point, he really keeps the offense flowing.
Well, this is a guy who brings a solid skill set. Excellent ball handler, high level of playmaking, the perfect backup point.
Hernan Gomez. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's on Jarrett Allen.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
Doris, there is nothing like opening night in the NBA. Every fan base just teeming with optimism for the upcoming season.
I think all of us are just so thrilled to have NBA basketball back. There's no losses in the losing column. Everybody's happy. Let's tip it off and go.
And guys have that little step, and these first weeks of the season are always exciting.
Oh, no doubt. Everybody's bursting with enthusiasm. Players are fresh.
He's off on the first. And he sinks the second.
You know, one dilemma that jumps out at me with the Timberwolves, over the years, they have been an excellent offensive rebounding team. It's the other end, the defensive backboards, where they have had some problems.
Now, here's LeVert. Shoots the 3. Nailed from three-point land.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
And Doris, you're right. Over the last 5 seasons, the Timberwolves have been the absolute worst defensive rebounding team in the NBA.
And it's hard to understand, Kevin, because they have created second chance opportunities for themselves only to give it back on the other end. That's the kind of thing that can be demoralizing for your defense. You get a stop. Oh, gentlemen. Woo! My goodness, step back.
That was incredible.
Yo. Watch Russell.
Russell passes to Towns. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Back to Towns. They grab their own miss. Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. Nets leading by 10. Jordan, the pass to Allen. Bucket is good.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Boy, picking Jarrett Allen, number 22, back in 2017 has paid off for the Nets. This guy is proven already in his early 20s to be an NBA caliber starting center.
One shot.
That free throw good from Allen. And Jarrett Allen grew up in the Austin area and played near his home at the University of Texas.
Yeah, Kev, just one season with the Longhorns. He really came into the league considered a project, but boy, his development is truly ahead of schedule.
And Jordan sends it back. Allen kicks to LeVert. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
This guy doesn't mind absorbing contact at all if it means a trip to the free throw line. Caris LeVert will find his points any way you want.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Well, at 6'7", Doris, Caris LeVert describing himself as a point/shooting guard.
Well, why not? Because his slashing ability, his blinding speed off the dribble is really what makes him problematic. His burst is special, and it doesn't matter if he's going left or right.
So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses.
And until their playoff run, the Brooklyn Nets weren't a team we thought of as a free agent destination. And Doris, you almost forget that they play in the biggest market in the country.
And Greg, who would have thought that in New York and Los Angeles, arguably the most competent franchises would be the Nets and the Clippers? These are two of the historically dilapidated teams no longer content to play second fiddle in those major markets.
And the Timberwolves call time here. And before his scary foot dislocation in November of 2018, Karis LeVert enjoying a breakout season. Greg even garnering some most improved buzz around the NBA.
Yeah, and fortunately, the injury not as bad as it looked initially. He's looking to continue that impressive trajectory.
With a break in the action, we've got a chance now to look at last year's top rebounder, DeAndre Jordan III.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
On defense, the Nets. Here's Okogie. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. It's on Jarrett Allen.
No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
And Doris, last season, rookie Josh Okogie ended up contributing more than the franchise thought he would.
Yeah, he was terrific as a 3-and-D player for the Wolves. This guy could end up being the steal of the draft, sort of in that Robert Covington mold.
Two.
The first free throw is good.
And you think about the Wolves' history. KG clearly their best player, but Big Cat has a chance to reach that level someday.
He does, Greg, and I think we always look through KG's legacy being defined by passion, commitment, and leadership. That was as important as his basketball skill. Karl Anthony Towns is similarly talented, right? I think the key is he just needs to find consistency. That's the last step.
LeVert against Beasley. Back to Irving. Brooklyn gets it back with the new shot clock at 14. Allen's shot is off.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Beasley against Irving. No good from Beasley.
I'll tell you, most of the time, this guy's going to finish that. But that was tremendous defense that prohibits him from completing the play.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
DeAndre Jordan, simply a force around the cup. This guy has rare athleticism.
Hey, yo, right here. Switch.
Irving against Russell. Over Irving. Another miss by Minnesota.
You know, not sure if he's playing to the crowd, but no need for the fadeaway on that shot.
LeVert against Beasley. Lets it go from 14. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
There's Russell with the 3. LeVert grabs the miss. Nets leading by 18. The pass to KD. That's good, and it's LeVert with the assist.
Defensively, they've been a step slow here to start.
And so it's Russell with it. He brings it up for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Right here.
Pass to Hernan Gomez. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. LeVert with a wide open look. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
I think he's got to settle down because right now it feels like he's rushing, like he's forcing some shots. This quarter, he has been completely bothered.
He kicks it to Jordan.
I see you.
And the rejection by Towns.
Well, that play is so much about his reach and determination affecting the game defensively.
Clock at 4. Here's Jordan. Good work there as it goes. Jordan's got 8 points.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Kicks it to Towns. Teardrop shot. Not going to fall. Starting off slow. He misses his first 3 from the floor. LeVert in the corner. Bangs home the trifecta. LeVert's got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for the Nets.
They've been excellent so far, coming in with a well-balanced attack.
No doubt, Greg. On the offensive end, it feels like they're getting the shots they want, and defensively, they are connected and on a string. Credit the defense right there. They have not allowed this guy to get going at all in this period.
Here's Okogie. Makes that one after missing his first 6 shot attempts. 1 for 7 and hungry for more.
Yeah, what a nice play. Just a coast-to-coaster by himself off of that steal.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn.
A career-best season for Kyrie Irving in 2018-19. Scoring just as great as ever, but it was the other areas, playmaking, rebounding, defense, where he made tremendous strides. And here's a look at numbers for Johnson. Some last season stats for him. Average 7 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And he gives them a nice rotation on the front court. He is a quality reserve.
Well, the one thing you can't teach is size. He's not as developed skill-wise as some guys, but certainly a valuable backup for this team.
And the Celtics expected Kyrie to become a better passer and defender in Boston.
They felt he had the capability. You could argue that those improvements have elevated him from a great scorer to a great player in our league.
Now, here's Culver. Defense right on him. That shot misses. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Irving attacking. And Culver pulls it down.
Boy, surprised he missed that. The defense just good enough to prevent that bucket.
Knocks down the 3 ball.
How about the recognition from Culver? Terrific at realizing when the defense has broken down.
Dinwiddie finds KD. Over Johnson. The shot by KD. No good.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
And here's Culver. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Sweet little floater.
And that attacking mindset, when Culver sees an opportunity like that, he just grabs it.
Passes it to Irving. And it's denied. Here's Reed. Dinwiddie covering. That's tipped. Durant with the steal. Harris dishes to Dinwiddie. Johnson with the block. Here's Reed. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. Doris, you graduated as your college's all-time assist leader. Talk about some of the key traits of a great playmaker?
I think historically speaking, when we think about great lead guards, Kevin, we talk about unselfishness, vision, patience. Who are the players that make their teammates better? Though probably the one underrated aspect of a point guard to me, Kevin, is communication. Are you constantly looking for opportunities to communicate to your teammates, make them feel good about themselves, give them confidence? That to me is probably the most underrated aspect of it.
And Doris, when you played, you took such great pride in each and every one of those things.
I did. I love trying to make my teammates better. Feels great to make somebody feel good.
Minnesota making a switch here. Layman's checked in. Good on the second free throw.
I think one thing you have to love about the Timberwolves, their aggression on the offensive end. This is a team that has been top 10 in free throw attempts over the last 8 years. And when they get to the line, they do convert.
And Jarrett Culver gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Irving. Johnson outside.
I got him, I got him! Switch!
1:35 left to play here in the first. And part of why the Wolves get to the line so much, they take a lot of two-point shots.
And that's a trade-off, right, Kev? We all know the analytics like the three-point shot. They like restricted area twos. But the best way to get to the line is to challenge the teeth of that defense. You can't do that from 25 feet away, guys.
You know, it's going to be tough to win when you give the other team second and third opportunities to score the ball.
Culver passes to Layman. Johnson surveying the floor. He dishes it to Culver. Clock at 6.
What's the foul?
Pass to Layman.
Get there, get there! Keep coming! Turner! Turner! Out!
Now the pass to Turner. Second shot opportunity, and the basket is good. Turner's got his second bucket tonight.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Dinwiddie passes to Durant. There's 25 seconds left in the first. Up and in on the layup.
And boy, have they come out strong, really pounding the offensive board for second chance points.
Now, here's Culver.
Loose ball. Going the other way.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for Brooklyn. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize his potential.
I want to be the best player who ever played, and I feel that I could do that. I think I have the God-given talent and the God-given abilities to make it happen, and I have total confidence in myself every single day. I wake up that I could be the greatest player who ever played. I know if I continue to put the work ethic in and continue to do all the little things I need to do, I could find myself in that conversation. But, you know, obviously I got to learn every single day and never take no days for granted.
On his coaches, Greg and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And guys, the Nets enjoying a nice lead here.
You got to credit their defense, communicating, rotating, making plays on the ball.
Yeah, I think they wanted to come out of the gate strong, and they have. They've taken the early lead here.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, James Johnson is out there with Layman. Then it's Culver. Then it's Turner. And it's Reed in at the center position. Dinwiddie passes to KD. Good D by Johnson. Timberwolves trailed by 19. Outside Turner. Pass to Johnson. Shoots over Dinwiddie. A shot by Johnson, no good. Here's Claxton. No points in the game yet for him. Ripped away. 3-on-3. Here's Culver. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Nets leading by 19. To the paint. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Reed's got 5 rebounds tonight. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Here's Layman. 6 on the shot clock, and there's the call. It's on Spencer Dinwiddie. That's his first foul. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Here's Johnson, and KD with the block.
But Kevin Durant is playing spectacular defense, and it sets the tone for the entire team.
Dinwiddie with it. Culver covering. Fires the 3. Dinwiddie's shot is off.
Well, they are daring him to miss, and he obliges. Well, this is the first full year now for Ryan Saunders. Let's remember he was hired by Minnesota full-time after an interim stint last season. And boy, did the players love playing for him.
Claxton the pass to Dinwiddie. Harris with it. Oh, Dinwiddie in position. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one's on Johnson.
Well, the length and size of Kevin Durant make him a prime target on the interior. So good at forcing the issue close to the basket.
And as we know, Doris, Ryan Saunders, the son of the late, great Minnesota legend, Flip Saunders.
Well, certainly the family has history with the organization, but in no way did Ryan Saunders get the job due to name only. This guy proved he can get wins from this Minnesota roster last year. For Saunders, he's known as a player development guy, and the ability to handle superstars is part and parcel to the job. There are very few players in the world who can do what Kevin Durant does. Under duress of the playoffs or a big moment in the game, Kevin Durant has the skill set and the mentality necessary to finish opponents off.
DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Brooklyn. Jarrett Allen comes in for Harris. That's also good, so he hits both free throws. And that skill set of Durant's that, Doris, you just mentioned, there really is no comparison in the league.
I agree, Kevin. I mean, just to have that soft touch with that height he has is rare in itself. Now you think about the mobility and creativity to find a shot for himself or others in any situation. That is what makes him one of the all-time greats.
Shot clock violation.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Kenny Atkinson, who's a native of Long Island, now has his dream job, coaching the Brooklyn Nets. Now, he doesn't need praise or recognition. Instead, he's fueled by the fear of failure. He says, "I always feel like I'm one banana peel away from never being in the NBA again." And Kevin, he's got his team playing with that same determination.
David, he sure does. Thank you very much. Doris, as you always say, there is a grace in handling wins and losses in this game, isn't there?
You know what, Kevin? There's an old saying that winning and losing are imposters, that it's everything to do with how you react to constant learning and growing experiences. And listen, everybody wants to win, but can you experience losing with grace and dignity? Can you embrace the joy of pure competition? To me, that's one of the beautiful things about the NBA. Men handle heartbreak and joy and set an example for the next generation. It's beautiful.
And he makes both free throws.
And a great job from the line this quarter. They've gotten their percentage way up there.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Here's Towns, a terrific shot on the turnaround. Towns has got his first bucket of the night.
Karl Anthony Towns reading the situation and finding an opportunity in the mid-range.
Dinwiddie against Russell. Dinwiddie passes to LeVert. 5 to shoot. And there's the foul. It's on Towns. That's his first foul. Passes it to LeVert. Kicks it out to Johnson. Clock is at 3. It's stolen. Pass to Okogie. Takes a 3. Here's Layman. And he converts the layup.
Second chance points always hurt. Just not enough effort to block out.
No doubt those extra possessions can really add up against you when you do not take care of the defensive glass.
The pass to Dinwiddie.
I got your help side.
The feed to Jordan. Towns with the steal. Here's Okogie. And that one, good. Okogie's got 6.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Now LeVert. 9 points in the game so far. Dinwiddie dishes to Jordan. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Well, this is often how DeAndre Jordan gets his points in a set offense, off the roll.
Russell with it. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Over Johnson. And again, it's Minnesota.
Well, the versatility he possesses makes him a very tough cover, guys.
Here now is Dinwiddie. Pass to LeVert. There's his third field goal, and now he's made half of his 6 shots.
Boy, that's just about strength right there. Karis LeVert just simply refuses to be denied.
Russell kicks to Layman. Pass to Hernan Gomez. Off target with his 3. Brooklyn leading by 17. In the corner, it's Dinwiddie. That's good, and it's LeVert with the assist. LeVert's got his 3rd assist on the night.
Well, he has proven that you've got to respect the long-range ability of Spencer Dinwiddie. Nice.
Here's Okogie. Dinwiddie covering. Tipped away. Scores for only the 2nd time tonight. Now 2 for 6 from the field.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Screen.
Pass to LeVert. Again, the Nets for 2.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Okogie, the pass to Towns. Outside, Russell. Shot from 12. And again, it's Minnesota converting.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
It's Jordan on the wing. And here's Hernan Gomez outside. Cans it from downtown.
Well, Towns showing himself to be a willing facilitator. If you're open, he's going to find you.
Now here's Johnson. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Dinwiddie against Russell. They get it again.
Get that board, DeAndre.
Goes back up. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one is on Towns.
Well, you know what DeAndre Jordan is going to bring to the table every night. Great effort, incredible presence on the backboards, a ton of length defensively. Love everything he does for you.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
And you look at the cast-offs that have found success in Brooklyn, Doris, a great part of the Nets story.
And I think what the players appreciate is the team that gave them their first real shot to play significant minutes. That buy-in and urge to prove themselves a part of what makes their culture special.
And so he hits both.
Well, DeAndre Jordan remains one of the best rebounders in the NBA. His ability to dominate the glass and get you extra possessions, just a thing of beauty.
Knocked away, and it's out of bounds. Last touched by Allen.
And let's take a look at Karl Anthony Towns' numbers. Last season, he played outstanding. 7th in rebounding, 9th in blocks, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
He was a top 10 rebounder last season for good reason. He's an incredibly intense guy to compete with. And for a full game, too. I mean, just nonstop.
What a brutal night for this guy, and it is having a ripple effect throughout the team. This is tough.
Yeah, just a simple one-hand flush.
I think he got a few more inches on his vertical by going with the spike. Russell passes to Okogie, and stolen by Jordan. Outside Irving. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Well, guys, you see it so often. Kyrie Irving's speed makes him easy to foul.
Elbow. 2.
And with DeAndre Jordan, the rebounding is as strong as ever, Doris. But what about the rim protection?
Well, I think obviously DeAndre's block totals aren't what they used to be when he was turning away 2 shots a game. But there's more to defense than just blocking shots. And Jordan remains a plus defender.
That free throw good from Kyrie Irving.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Harris is checked in. Both free throws good from Kyrie Irving.
And for a franchise searching for stability, it doesn't help that the Wolves have had a number of head coaching changes.
Well, obviously, the Wolves aren't alone in that problem, Greg. I think it can be difficult to identify just the right kind of leadership. And when you do get someone like Greg Popovich or Eric Spoelstra or Rick Carlisle, you try to hold on for dear life.
There's the pass to LeVert. Beasley with the steal. And here we go. Fast break. Towns has got it. And the dunk by Towns.
Boy, for a man his size, Towns does a sensational job running the floor.
Russell against Irving. Allen in the post. Over Reed. That's good from Allen on the assist from Harris. Allen's got 9 points.
Well, deliver the pass where your teammate can do something with it. Nice.
Russell passes to Towns. The floater. Okogie misses.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
A nice shot by Harris.
You're one of the best shooters in the game, knocking down shots off the pull-up. Woo-hoo, go Joe Harris.
From 11 feet away, Russell no luck.
This guy just can't find his rhythm, and you look up at the scoreboard, they absolutely need his productivity.
Here's LeVert. Jordan trying to free himself up, and Karl Anthony Towns pulls it down. Towns has got 6 rebounds here tonight, and that one is good by Beasley.
They're having more success from three-point range here in the second after a rough first quarter from deep.
The shot's good from Irving. Irving's got 4 this quarter.
But just a spectacular display of ball handling from Kyrie, opening up the look there. Many believe he might have the best handle in the game.
Hey, yo, right there.
55 seconds left in the second quarter. Shot clock at 6, and it's Beasley in the corner. No good with the triple.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Allen kicks to Irving. Back to Allen. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. That's on D'Angelo Russell.
And guys, I think the future is so bright for Jarrett Allen. We're talking about an athletic, mobile big man who has already proven to be an accomplished two-way player.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one misses. And the second free throw, good.
And no secret here. This is what you need to do with the lead. Hit your free throws, and they're having a great second quarter at the line.
Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Towns kicks to Culver.
Screen, screen, screen.
14 feet away. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Pass to Irving. From deep. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in.
And this coaching staff appreciates the effort from Culver. Defense is about anticipation and hustle.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with a 21-point lead to end the quarter. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge. All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, what's your take?
Well, they were dishing out dimes left and right, and the guys were finishing strong. As a team, they seem to be always thinking, always looking for the best shot. If they keep sharing the ball this way, the second half could be more lopsided than the first.
Shaq, what you think about Minnesota?
Well, first of all, as cold as they've been from the floor, I can't say I'm surprised by the score. You cannot shoot the ball that poorly and expect to be in the game, Ernie. They need better ball movement. If their offense stays this stagnant, they could forget about a comeback.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. One of the stories here, guys, Caris LeVert getting it done today.
Yeah, and just look at the numbers from the first half. He has been very efficient.
I think they've taken their time. They've showed incredible patience. It's a sign of a well-coached ball club.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Irving and LeVert are at the 1 and 2. Jordan is out there with Allen, and it's Durant in at the 3 spot. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson.
You will not see this guy miss many of those. He's one of the keys to their floor spacing. Well, think about the Nets' Kenny Atkinson, a finalist last season for NBA Coach of the Year. This young coach got a well-deserved contract extension, and what I love is his team competes at a high level every night.
Launches it. Beasley with the rebound.
Well, when you've been struggling as he has, you love that your teammates have really stepped up and taken the challenge. Well, I guarantee you this is not what they talked about in the locker room. 0 for 3 and looking lost.
Irving passes to KD. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one. And Doris, you think about how hard this Brooklyn team competes. I think they take right after their head coach.
I don't think there's any doubt, Kevin. Coach Atkinson is still willing to get on the court and jump into drills with his players. Let's remember, going back to the early days of his career, he was a player development coach. And before that, yes, he even played. That effort and willingness to break a sweat very much reflected in his group.
And finished off by Hernan Gomez.
Well, the more repetition he gets, the more floor awareness you develop. D'Angelo Russell showing a desire to get his teammates involved.
Irving with it. He's picked up by Russell. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers and, in his words, was kicked on the way out. But he's become an all-star in Brooklyn. Russell said, "It's a heck of an accomplishment. That respect from your peers, your coaches, other teams, it's a great feeling." And Kevin, given how it started for him in L.A., many remain shocked by Russell's rapid ascent.
Coming into his own, you're right, David. Thank you. Passes it to Okogie for the 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Allen's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And they double up Jordan. Dishes to Allen. Count that one. Allen's got 12 points in the game.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling now.
Towns, the pass to Okogie. Russell against Irving. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Well, D'Angelo Russell, one of the best mid-range scorers you'll see. He's got the floater game, the pull-up game, and with his arsenal, he can get a shot at any time.
Shooting 2.
First one falls for him. And you know, Doris, another thing about D'Angelo Russell, he's not afraid of the big moment.
Kevin, he has proven that he is willing to take and make big shots. He doesn't necessarily beat you with tremendous athleticism, but it's his basketball skill that sets him apart.
And so Russell hits them both. Doris, such an honor to be on this with you, and you were the first female to become a full-time NBA analyst, breaking new ground. You've accomplished so much in your life, personally, professionally. What would you tell young women who are graduating college, looking to get ahead in their career in what you've chosen?
Well, first and foremost, I've been very lucky, Kevin. The game of basketball has been a part of my life since I was 7. It's been a driving force. I love it. I would just tell young women, times are changing. Dream big. There's nothing that's impossible. And I'm so thankful to the NBA players and coaches who have just wrapped their arms around me from the time I entered this business. So kudos to those players who are part of the change, no question.
And hard work. I have seen you work. I have seen you prepare. No one prepares more. No one works harder than you.
Thanks, Kev.
And there it is for him. Irving's got 12 in the game.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
Outside, Towns. He's looking for Russell and finds him. And that one drops. Russell's got 8 points here in this quarter. And so it's Irving with it, bringing it up for the Brooklyn Nets. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. Left side, Durant. Good on the bucket. He's got 16.
Well, the defense can only do so much. You try to make Kevin Durant uncomfortable, and even without any space, able to make the jumper.
Here's Towns. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's going to be on DeAndre Jordan.
clearly a foul.
And Towns, a player who took a little bit of time adjusting from the college game at Kentucky to the NBA game, especially Doris on the defensive end.
I do think you have to appreciate over the last several seasons Karl Anthony Towns' commitment to becoming a better defender. Listen, he has the length to not only block shots, but to alter shots, and you just want him to have consistent effort on that end.
And he makes the first.
Boy, when you think about the skill that Karl Anthony Towns has, you realize he's just getting started in the league. His future is truly off the charts. By the midpoint of his career, we could be talking about him as one of the most skilled big men to ever play the game.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Allen. And Dinwiddie subbed in for LeVert. And with the offensive tool set of Karl Anthony Towns, Doris, he could see MVP consideration in the future.
Well, what we know about Karl Anthony Towns certainly is that each and every night he has a major impact for his team. And consider, he's still growing as a player and ironing out some areas. But this guy is going to be a star for a long time, no doubt.
Hernan Gomez down low, defended by Durant. Nets leading by 23. Here's Irving, and the shot goes down.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Boy, you talk about the all-time great below-the-rim finishers. Kyrie Irving is on that list. He can use either hand, so much English. This guy is tough.
Shooting one.
You know, Doris, as great a scorer as he is, Kyrie Irving doesn't draw a ton of fouls.
Kevin, I think that has everything to do with his elusivity. This is a young man who can finish with either hand, can get separation on any defender. This is the one thing you'd say about Kyrie Irving. He does not initiate contact around the rim.
Just 5 to shoot. Here's Russell. That's good from 17 feet away. Russell's got 10 points here in the second half.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute session, but he's just not getting enough help.
Here's Irving, and he banks in the layup.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high-percentage looks from inside.
Russell against Irving. And Jordan sends it back, and he recovers it.
And the way they have controlled the glass this game, really impressive.
And bottom line, more boards means more possessions. That's how you build a lead.
Chemistry at its best. An unreal alley-oop.
Yeah, you're right. The pass, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect. Pass to Culver. Turner inside. Johnson on him. The shot by Turner, no good.
Well, you simply have to shake that one off, right? You can't let that kind of missed opportunity bother you.
Irving drives in. Here's Jordan. It's good. Jordan's got 6 points in the quarter.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
The pass to Reed from deep. And he's good on the 3-ball. Reed's got 7 points in the game.
Well, that's a nice pass from D'Angelo Russell. And to me, this is what you want to see. Him growing and growing as a playmaker.
Outside, KD. Offensive rebound, Nets. Jordan plays it up and in on the nice reverse. Jordan's got 20 points.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Pass to Culver. Turner dishes to Culver. Durant with the steal. Here's Johnson, and it's Johnson with the jam.
Well, so tough, so aggressive. Tyler Johnson attacking the cup.
Outside, Russell. Passes it to Turner. Timberwolves passing it around. Slammed home, and he draws the foul. A chance for another point at the free throw line.
One shot.
It's on Kevin Durant.
And credit the screen for giving him the space he needed to get to the rim.
For sure, GA allows him to come in with the sledgehammer.
Boy, that's a play you just practice time and time again, and that's the result of the work put in.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And the big contract for Evan Turner entering its final year. Greg making over $18 million. Is he in line for a raise, you think?
Maybe not a raise, but he still remains a useful player. Never the most efficient scorer, but his rebounding and passing are what carry him.
Read the pass to Culver. Good on the shot. Culver's got his second bucket.
I'll tell you, Culver has an array of moves once he gets into the paint.
Pass to Irving. Shoots over Culver. And he overshot that one, missing. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Johnson kicks to Culver. Poked loose. And there's the call. It's on Spencer Dinwiddie. That's foul number 2 for him. Now, here's Culver, covered by Irving.
A terrific job from Irving to track his man the entire way and bother that shot.
Drops in the tray. Harris has got 5.
What a beautiful stroke from range. Defensively, you've got to try to take him out of his comfort zone.
Read the pass to Russell. Six to shoot. Dinwiddie with some nice D. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
And guys, shot A comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Here's Harris. Count it. 7 points in the game.
Joe Harris so good at keeping his composure in intense situations. Nice job playing through contact.
Now, here's Culver. He's covered closely. Outside, Russell. Feeds to Johnson. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Russell's got 3 assists tonight.
Well, use the pick and going right to the cup. I love the aggressiveness.
And there's the pass to Irving. Off target from three-point range. Minnesota shooting a meager 37% for the game. Johnson outside. There's 49 seconds left in the third. Here's Culver. Rebound, Brooklyn. Jordan's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Here's Dinwiddie. Softly drops in the floater. Dinwiddie's got 4 points in the quarter.
I'll tell you, it's hard to deal with Dinwiddie that close to the rim. You cannot mess with his concentration.
Now Culver. Lets it fly from 18. Jordan with the rebound. Jordan's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Claxton the pass to Jordan. Irving for 3. The three-pointer is right on target. Irving's got 12 points in just the second half.
You know this. Kyrie Irving, when he has the hot hand, is lethal. On a night-by-night basis, he is an absolute matchup nightmare.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. It's the Nets just dominating this one. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that end. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, we've got Culver. Layman is out there with Evans. And it's Spellman in at the center filling out the middle. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
Yeah, just solid work on the back end of that play.
Yep, you're right. Finished hard with two hands on that stuff. Pass to Harris. Helps teams if they can keep the rights to their best player. We see it in other leagues. Could the franchise tag ever make its way, do you think, to the NBA?
Well, this is going to be a negotiation point between the Players Association and the league itself. And the reality is it's going to have to be negotiated. What we know unequivocally, Kevin, is that these players now in the player empowerment era have more control about what franchise they play for and how long the duration of their contract is. How this all shakes out remains to be seen, but it is a point of conversation amongst the 30 NBA teams and the league leadership. There's no question about it.
Layman gets the bucket.
Well, it doesn't get much easier than that. Even a decent shooter is going to make that with no pressure.
Brooklyn's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Here's Temple, and the foul called on Amari Spellman. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
On defense, Minnesota. Here in the fourth quarter, their defense has been very strong, allowing no baskets. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Prince, that's for 2, and he hits the jump shot. Prince has got his first 2 points of the night. Passes it to Layman. There's the dish to Culver. It's blocked. And we're about 2 minutes into the fourth quarter now. Pass to Prince. The Nets working the ball around now. And the pass to Temple. Shot clock at 5. Here's Claxton. The three-pointer, no good. Culver with it. Pass to Spellman. You know, Doris, you and I love history. And we were talking the other day, you and I, about Bill Russell and his 11 championship rings. Do you think anyone's ever going to break that record?
I think it'll be close to impossible, Kevin, and the reason is, number one, there were so many fewer teams back then for Bill Russell, in no way diminishing the greatness of one of the game changers, both between the lines and outside the lines. Bill Russell will always be an historic figure. But it's very tough to compare eras. There's now 30 teams, nutrition, conditioning, coaching. There's just so much more information in the current era.
Two.
That's good from Harris. And at 6'6", Joe Harris has been asked to play a lot of minutes at that small forward position. Doris, do you think that's his natural spot?
Well, I think he's gotten pretty good in terms of his strength, if not the length for the 3 spot. He's worked really hard defensively to get better and better. And offense, though, that's where he's going to make his money. He can make shots consistently.
And Harris drops them both.
Now you think about it, over time, Joe Harris has made himself a viable option as an NBA player. He's got such offensive versatility.
Looking to get back on track here. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Yet another player from the 2019 draft class who wasn't a top high school recruit. Jarrett Culver, 3-star guy, thin, unrefined, but in that sophomore year of college, boy, did he surprise some folks.
Shooting 2.
And he knocks down the first one. And Greg, when you talk about Culver, the one thing he did show in high school and again showed at Texas Tech, the ability to score.
Yeah, and he creates and makes shots against great defenders. Every team in the NBA is looking for that. His jumper, his handle, his ability to move without the ball, already NBA level stuff.
He's perfect from the line this time.
Wow, they've made every free throw here in the second half.
Johnson, the pass to Prince. And the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
How about the concentration? He gets hit, but stays with the play and gets the finish.
And a 4-year player at Baylor, Taurean Prince, something of a surprise lottery pick back in 2016. But Greg, he's become a very valuable player.
You know, he's one of those two-way power wings that it seems every team wants. A dependable three-point marksman who holds his own defensively.
Shooting 1.
Doris, we've both been very public in our admiration for LeBron, the face of the league, for so many years. When he retires, and we're approaching that date, who do you think might step up and take his place as the face of the NBA?
Well, probably the most likely candidate is the new and reigning MVP, and that's Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is an absolute physical force. He's put on 50 pounds. He's getting more and more skilled. When he adds that three-point shot as a consistent weapon and gets to an in-between game, he will be impossible to guard. Kawhi Leonard, you know, he is now sort of taking over as a multi-time winner of the Finals MVP, and certainly a player guys want to play with. So just a couple of possibilities there, Kev.
Doris, you and I are faced with this a lot, voting for the MVP. Great stats versus winning. Where do you stand on that when you vote for the league MVP?
Well, winning could be the definitive line if I have two candidates who are close. For instance, for me, this last MVP came down to James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I took it to the last possible moment. And I could have gone in either direction and been comfortable. Ultimately, I went with Giannis, and the deciding factor came down to he led his team to the best record in the league. It was a difficult vote, but ultimately it's one category which helps tilt me in one direction or another.
And I did too, and what also helped me was just the improvement defensively they had made, and I know Antetokounmpo was a very big part of it.
No, it's a great point. He was a two-way force.
He hits the second from the line.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line, they needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Here's Temple, and again it's Brooklyn converting.
And how about the move he made there to come up and get himself clear in the lane for the deuce?
And here's Culver. The teardrop falls in.
And he is starting to turn it on now after that slow start.
And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for Brooklyn. Pass to Temple. Back to Johnson. Right through the D for the layup. Johnson's got 4 points this quarter.
I love the confidence right there. Tyler Johnson in amongst the trees. He stays in attack mode. That is nice.
Noel, he's guarded by Johnson. That one goes in.
And you could just see the foot speed was an issue for the defender there as he just sails in for the layup.
Pass to Chandler. lot of people look at that general manager position with the team. I think it grows with some organization, maybe shrinks in importance with others. But by and large, it is more stable than coaching, isn't it? That position of being a GM.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, if you were to ask coaches, one of the things I've heard sort of thrown out there as an idea is when you list the head coach's record, why not list the GM's record as well? Because the reality is success in the NBA is contingent on so many things. What's your ownership like? What kind of front office personnel? Have they made great decisions? Do you have the best possible coaching comparative to the talent on your roster? So much contributes to winning, Kevin.
He doesn't get the second one. The Timberwolves have gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. It's good.
Maintained his concentration beautifully as he double clutched and laid it in against some tight D.
Johnson kicks to Chandler. Kicks it out to Prince. Misses the three. For Minnesota, they've gotten it done so far from the field here in the fourth, going 6 for 7. Layman, good for the 5th time in 5 shots. He remains perfect.
And they've really gotten on track here in the second half. After that shaky start, the field goal percentage steadily climbing. They couldn't make anything in that first break.
Chandler outside. He dishes it to Temple. Kicks it out to Prince from past the arc. Rebound, Minnesota. Evans, right side. And it's Culver, top of the key. And there's the call on Chandler. That's his first foul. Well, remember the time, Doris, when it was rare to see stars changing teams? Now we read about it every day.
No question, Kevin. Think back to my formative years watching the NBA as a fan. Larry Bird was a Boston Celtic. Magic Johnson was a Los Angeles Laker. The trend in today's NBA is that shorter player contracts, more player control over where they want to be. And the reality is this, Kevin, at some point, free agency entered the equation. It's appropriate. It's fair. They've earned the right to choose where they play.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. And so he's able to get 1 of 2. For Brooklyn, they've gone 5 of 10, 50% from the field. Here's Temple, covered by Evans. Johnson outside, from outside the arc, and the 3-ball is good. Johnson's got 9 points here in the second half.
What you like about that possession right there, tremendous teamwork. Johnson provides the finishing touch off the rise and fire.
Spellman the pass to Culver. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Here's Spellman, and it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Spellman's got his first points of the night.
Okay, nice job here in the second half. Field goal percentage is way up from what it was at halftime when it was just barely above 30%.
Here's Prince. No good. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way. They'll be off to Charlotte for a game against the Hornets. That'll be the second of this 2-game road trip. Here's Spellman. He kicks to Culver. Got a piece of it. Here's Karuch. Now the pass to Prince. Johnson dishes to Prince. They get a hand on it. Culver with the steal. Drops in the breakaway layup. Culver's got 7 points for the quarter.
And the decision-making proving to be outstanding. Culver just has a knack for taking advantage of the D in the open floor.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. We're seeing some great shooters with length, tall players shooting from outside. That seems to be the rage right now, but when you look in your crystal ball, Doris, what might be the next player trend in the NBA?
So we saw the evolution of big men as three-point shooters, men being able to enter the league as sort of back to the basket, consistent rebounding forces out of the post, now stepping away and becoming threats as face-up scorers. To me, one of the most intriguing young players in the league right now is Nikola Jokic. Here's a 7-foot guy who is a tremendous playmaker. His instinct is to pass more than it is to score. So you wonder, is that the next evolution of big men? And then the other thing, Kevin, you are starting to see offensive rebounding went away as a focal point of teams in the NBA. You are starting to see teams go back after the offensive glass. Does that continue?
That second chance is a big statistic, isn't it?
It is.
And he's good on the second. Timberwolves shooting a mediocre 41% in this one. Pass to Layman. Kicks to Turner. Clock at 6. Rebounded by the Nets. Prince up top. Passes to Johnson. Doris, we know historically the Celtics, the only franchise to ever have a four-peat, 4 straight championships. Do you think at some point we're going to see another?
I'm not sure there can be in today's NBA, Kevin, and there are a number of different contributing factors. Number one, the salary cap implications that happen. Number two, look at the Golden State Warriors, who were well-positioned for a three-peat. And yet, as you know, luck plays a small part in an NBA championship, luck relative to injuries. You see Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant both get lost in the midst of an NBA Finals. True. This is it's challenging enough to go back-to-back. Forget about four-peat.
Here's Karuk, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That one on Turner. And second-round pick Kurucs ended up starting most of last season for the Nets as a rookie.
Well, think about it. Back in Europe, this guy was playing limited minutes for Barcelona. Some said they were trying to hide him from NBA scouts, but there is no question he is on everyone's radar now, Kev.
2 shots. Relax on the first.
And the first one drops. Kurucs was the 40th pick and wasn't expected to contribute, Greg, in year one, but his strong play as a rookie has helped rescue a Nets team that was teetering on the brink with the loss of Karis LeVert.
You know, they had guys who could shoot, and they had guys who could defend, but no one who could do both. Kurucs can hit open threes, and with that 7'2" wingspan, a factor defensively.
Noel, he's guarded by Johnson, and that one drops for him.
Oh, he had him spinning. He looks like he's dizzy after that crossover.
Brooklyn's gotten some tough luck from three-point range. In the fourth quarter, they've hit just 1 of 6 from deep. Prince, the pass to Johnson. Doris, isn't it interesting that we're seeing some teams with more three-point attempts than two-point attempts?
It's incredible, Kevin, that every year over the last decade, you see more three-point attempts across all 30 NBA teams. And think about the Houston Rockets. In each of the last 2 years, the Rockets have actually taken more threes than twos. This is the evolution of the game. It is not going anywhere. There's 2 high-valued shots in the league. Restricted area twos, that means point-blank opportunities at the rim, and three-point shots. And everything else in between seems to be getting lost.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, over the last few seasons, Tyler Johnson turning himself into one of the premier options off the bench.
Kevin, you could easily see this guy winning a 6th Man of the Year award in the future. He's versatile in terms of where he can slot in offensively. He's always looking to score, and you need that kind of punch off the bench.
He's off on the second.
Well, when you look at the skill set of Tyler Johnson, he really is the epitome of a catalyst. Comes in full energy every time, and if he's hitting his shots, you just ride that wave of scoring.
Noel, rebounded by the Nets.
Boy, a clean, close look. What a missed opportunity.
Temple, the pass to Johnson. We've got 1:28 left in the fourth quarter. Good work defensively by Turner. And with Johnson, Greg, you never know how on his shot will be day to day.
And that's okay. Teams need a player who can carry them off the bench when they get it going. Johnson is a bit of a microwave that heats up immediately, but if he's cold, you simply drop back the minutes for that game.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Nets.
As one-sided as it gets today, you know, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, it's hard to think of what didn't go right for them. Game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was just on target.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for DeAndre Jordan.
Boy, you couldn't help but notice how well this guy protected the rim. There was an intimidation factor thanks to his defense. No easy shots in his neighborhood tonight.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Here's Temple, and that one hits back iron. To the middle, here's Evans. It's deflected. Now here's Johnson. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.